Awesome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ladies Power Lunch. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm always excited whenever we have a show. Everybody knows this about me, but today there is special excitement. And I know you've heard this before. Oh, she's always specially excited. No, Wendy Lee is like my heart. She is one of my dear, dear, dear friends. I am excited to share her with you, share her wisdom, share her brilliance with you today. Welcome, Wendy. Thank you for joining us all the way from Texas. So happy to have you. And we have a number of other ladies, beautiful, wonderful ladies here in the room with us. And so I want to give you guys a chance, Sandy and Marianne, to just introduce yourself, and then we'll introduce Wendy, and then we'll get that ball rolling. So Sandy, would you like to start? Will you tell us who you are and what it is that you do?
Uh, well, I am Sandy Levine. I'm actually out here in Oklahoma City. My past career has been in human resources and talent acquisition. I was kindly invited by Wendy to join. She speaks so highly of this union, and I couldn't resist to figure out what's going on out there. What is Wendy talking about? So I accepted the invitation and look forward to hearing more about you, yourself, and everyone else.
Awesome. Happy to have you. And, Sandy, are you still in the corporate field, corporate
I am
world?
not. I am
Oh,
not.
okay.
I'm actually exploring, other opportunities right now.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome. Marianne, welcome. Good to see you. It's been so long.
At least an hour, maybe more.
At least an hour. I know. So just share with everybody who you are and what it is that you do.
Absolutely. I'm Marianne Pack. I am a spiritual medium and oracle for my spirit guides, the many. And I offer beautiful sessions that people can have their heart questions, their soul questions answered from infinite intelligence. And the other thing that I do, I'm a podcaster, and I just got to record Wendy's session, Wendy's episode yesterday. So look for that to be coming out shortly. And I am in collaboration with Ladies Power Lunch to create a coaching concierge directory. And I'm putting the final touches on the email that will be sent out to coaches very, very soon.
Awesome. Awesome. So this is coming soon to a theater near you guys. So stay tuned because a lot of the old stuff from Ladies Power Lunch is going to stick around, but lots of new stuff coming down the pike. I mentioned earlier today about our new logo and all of that fun stuff. So looking forward to just sharing all of this beautiful stuff that's coming. Wendy, welcome. So excited to have you on the show today. And will you share with everybody a little bit about your journey, a little bit about who you are, what it is that you do, and why you feel so strongly about the thing that you feel strongly about?
First of all, thank you so much for having this platform. I truly mean, when I listened to you earlier today, it was like, when I was ready to get back plugged in during, whatever the pandemic, and I got the download, it's like, it's time to get back in. Literally, this was the first place that I went. And that's something that I'm really doing more and more, is listening to my heart and the intuition. I don't need to know why. So who am I? I'm Wendy Lee with LeadHERship Revolution Coaching. First and foremost, I'm an open-hearted human. And that is something that has been a process to get to this point. I'm a mom to a fur baby Piper. I am a singer. I am a volunteer. And I am on a mission with passion to help women to understand that where they are now is usually tied to something in the back that we have not paid attention to. And that the world right now, like everything that we have gone through this last year, right? It's all there just to reveal what the universe is begging from us to do. And that is to lean in to be the fullest expression of ourselves, support one another, and really help heal. So when I heal, that gives somebody else the opportunity to lean in and heal. And that's what heals this collective universe, world, group, whatever makes it make sense for you. And I'm on a mission for that, because when I talk to people and I see particularly women that are not satisfied with their life, that are going through anxiety or depression, that are overwhelmed, that are taking on all the responsibilities, that are in the mode of, let me do more when I'm trying to fix the problem. I know from my personal journey that that's just a systematic approach to our unhealed parts. And what if life didn't have to be so hard? What if it could be fun and you could enjoy life, and things are still going to happen and you're still going to feel sad and things are going to happen. But what if we could feel all of our feelings, have this rich life, and then pass that on to someone else? So my goal is, let's not stay in that suffering spot too long. How can we transcend that? And let's go, because the world is crying out for everybody on this Zoom podcast, for everybody that's listening to the replay, to everybody of the everybody's that we know. It's time. Like the universe has hit us over the head with the frying pan. Are we going to pay attention? Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, Wendy Lee. I was saying earlier today, this is not a drill. Like, this is it. This is when all of us heart-centered entrepreneurs, we need to sit up and take notice. We need to pay attention, because it's time. It's time. I echo your sentiment 100%. So tell me a little bit about who the type of person is that you find to be your ideal client. Like, who is it that you serve the very best?
Yeah. I want to add one thing to what you just said, and then I'll answer that beautiful question. What an awesome freaking time to be where we are right now in this world. Like this thing that's happening right now, we get to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So when we're leaning in and you're getting plugged in, it's for a reason. Like, we've been selected to help move this forward. So first and foremost, just acknowledge that part of it. What kind of women do I look for? I look for women that have experienced what I've experienced. And I know a lot about people that are entrepreneurs, or that are coaches, or that even are good at advice giving. It's because we do it because we've been through something, right? We've been through the fire, we went through it, and we want to lean back and say, hey, I'm a couple of steps ahead of you. I want to lean back and help. So my story is that, I was a corporate executive. I made it all the way up to senior VP, which, was such a big deal. And I even love saying senior VP, because people
we introduced you one time as VP, and we were instantly corrected senior VP, if you please. So yeah, I get it, Wendy. And I used to be in corporate too. Yeah. So I know what you mean.
Yeah. And the reason for that is that, I had put so much of my identity unknowingly. Like, I thought I was doing all these great things, which I was. I was helping people, and I was really doing it from a humanistic vantage point. But there was also things that I was doing that was out of default mode. So, even when we get to whatever levels we think we are, if we're in the default mode of survival mode or response mode, then we're still reacting to our situation. And I'll give you an instance. So here I am, the senior VP of HR. I'm responsible for all these things. And it was like, it came naturally for me. I knew that's what I was supposed to be doing. But one day I get called up to my boss's office, who is the head of he's the general counsel of our corporation. And it's at a time where I normally don't get called into his office. So I'm like, first thing, something's wrong, right? Even with all the confidence that I had being in that role, you still are like, And so I walked into his office, and he said, I'm going to shut the door. And I'm like, okay, not uncommon. We talk about a lot of private things, being the head of HR. And he sat me down and he just went right into the conversation. And he said, Wendy, I need to share something with you. We got a phone call from somebody today that was a complaint that they felt like you were going into our private records for your personal gain. And my reaction was this: the bow of shame, because I already knew what he was talking about. See, besides being this corporate person, I was also in a very dysfunctional, abusive relationship with this human being that I had only known for 4 months. And I was in all of this craziness while per se keeping together in the workforce, that I had done this thing and found this information, and I was in this frenzy mode. And this person that I was dating at the time was trying to undermine me and had called my job to tell them a lie that didn't exist. And I was mortified, because not only was it my reputation, but I was sitting in front of my boss who had gained my trust. But I'll tell you one thing, I was already on my transformational journey. So even though I was feeling this shame, I knew that there was some way out. And because I was showing up in all of my heart, his next question was, I pulled the information that they were talking about only because I wanted to secure your name. I already know that you didn't do that. I already know that. But I want you to be at peace in case there's any other questions. And there's no way that you could have done what this person said, because you don't even have access to this information. And I was 53 freaking years old, right? So all these things in my mind were like, why are you still doing this? How come you're still doing this? Why are you still reacting this way? How are you getting involved with that? And in the meantime, I was also kind of hiding myself at work. I wasn't showing my true personality. I was doing and overdoing. I had gotten better at it, but it was still the process. But what this gift was, of this experience was, it was like the last thing that made me realize I'm still attached to some of this energy that's not good for me, in response to survival mode. And I'm just in my victim. But I'm not a victim anymore. And I have choices. So even though I was devastated, I knew exactly what to do. And I called my coach friend, and I took 2 weeks off, and I booked a trip, and I got myself back to the place that I needed to be. And instead of it lasting 5 years or 10 years or a bout of depression or anxiety or anything else that I used to go into, I knew what to do. I connected, I reconnected, and it was like, okay. And now it seems almost silly. Now, going through it at the time was not. It was awful, but it was shorter and it wasn't so strong. And that's really why I do this work. I see you. I see these women. I see everybody on this podcast. We do this. We are responding to life from things that happened before. But what if we could victim less? Like, I haven't figured out how to turn the knob off, but I do know that I can come in and have some tricks, some ideas, some tools in my toolbox to make it not so heavy and last so long and be so much suffering. So that's why I'm here. I want people to know that. I want them to have that gift that I got from other coaches and other connections and communities like this.
I think that a lot of the times, the things, you're absolutely right, the things that we end up teaching and focusing on are definitely the things that we have learned along our trail, and we just want to like reach back and say to somebody, this is a big takeaway from what you're saying right now. Just reach back and say to somebody, hey, I see you, and I know exactly how to make this shorter for you. I know exactly how to help you so you don't have to go through the things that I went through. Really, such a great vulnerable share. Janice over in our Ladies Power Lunch group says, this is great information. To thine own self be true, victim less. Love it. And want to say hi to everybody who's joining us in our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. If you're not as yet a member of our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group, why aren't you? And you're absolutely welcome to come on over and join us. Just search for us in Facebook, Ladies Power Lunch, and answer our few little questions, and we'll be happy to welcome you in. So tell us more, Wendy. When people come in to work with you, what's the number one thing that you have to make sure that you're teaching us, you wish that everybody knew? What's the number one thing?
I think the number one thing is, despite what your lovingly kind mind wants to do, most of your thoughts are not true. Right? But we operate as if they were. And once we understand that they're just there to try to keep us safe, and it's just getting disconnected and reconnected to our default patterns, that we can have a different choice from that level. But until we know, you don't know. So all you know is that I don't feel right, or I keep doing the same thing, or I have a lot of anxiety, or I'm going through depression, or whatever it might be. And all of those things are extremely, very real. But they're also guideposts to say, hey, something's not in alignment here, right? And so many times, particularly as women, either because of shame or guilt or not understanding, or whatever it is that keeps us in that place, we just suffer alone, right? We just think like nobody else can possibly feel the way I did. And if I did show this side of me, what would they think? You know, we all have this sense of wanting to be in a sense of belonging and significance and love, and to be lovable. So if I show these parts of me, nobody's gonna like that. But newsflash, we're all feeling this, right?
Every one of us.
Every single person has a story, and it's all significant. So what I'm really trying to get people to understand is, you can have a different decision, but you're gonna have to contend with your ego for a little bit, because your ego is going to jump in and try to get you back on the pattern that it knows. And if you're ready to really make that transformation, you have to be willing to, like, in your heart, you know that it's a truth. It's a truth. It's a truth, because you cannot see the next thing. That's why I love coaching so much. That's why I left the corporate world at the height of my career to do this, because it helped me so much see things that I couldn't see. You know, I saw, I don't know, somewhere on online, that our brain has this function, and there's some word for it. I don't know what the word for it is, where through evolution, we have this ability, by only seeing parts of things, to put together the whole story. So let's say way back when, you know, we're out hunting, and there's a lion in the bushes, and all we can see is an ear and a tail. Well, we need to put together the rest of the pieces to say, that's something that could harm me, and I need to be protective of that. That thinking is still in our mind. We get these little pieces, and we put together this story that this thing is harmful to me. I need to get into protective mode, but it's not true. It's not true. So what is helpful is that somebody else can show you those pieces in between that you cannot see. And that's really what I try to open, a safe container for people to see and to know that things will come up. I've got a safe place for you. I'm not going to try to fix you, because you're not broken. There's absolutely nothing wrong with you. You have just scurried off away from your true self. And we're just going to tether you back in little by little to get back to that brilliance.
That's beautiful. That is so, so beautiful. And I love that you remind us that we're not broken. We are not at all broken. There is nothing wrong with us. And it's difficult to see the picture when you're standing inside the frame. Somebody said it so beautifully yesterday, and I was like, wow, that's such a great analogy. She said, it's difficult to see the label when you're inside the bottle. How on earth could you read the label if you're inside the bottle? You just can't, you know?
Yeah.
And so having coaching and mentorship and support, which is going back to everything, I think leads right back to those 5 pillars of Grow Smarter, which is just
Mm.
taking advantage of the resources that you have available to you and having expert support like coaching. That's just priceless. That's a wonderful, wonderful thing. I want to invite everybody who is in the Ladies Power Lunch group, just drop a comment, say hi. Let us know how this is hitting for you. I'm seeing some really, really good comments here. Jamie says, thank you for being so brave and telling your story, Wendy. Hannah says, thank you, Wendy, for a great message. Love it. So you're getting a lot of hearts, you're getting a lot of likes here in our Facebook group. This is really resonating with everyone. Tell me, Wendy, what are some of the things that you think we all should be doing and things that we
Mm.
should really be avoiding? What are some of the do's and don'ts?
So the first thing that happens whenever, can I say a cuss word on here?
We are an explicit podcast, so I think we've earned our explicit rating probably
Okay.
once in the whole time that we've been here.
Okay, well, I'm just going to say it. When the shit hits the fan, right? The first thing that we do is either start trying harder, isolate, or stop doing the things that support us. Like, it's not so much that we just have to not do things. It's to remind our things to do the things that fill us up every single day, right? Things that make you joyful, things that bring connection, things that allow you to move the energy. Because all of this, all it is energy, right? The energy of trauma, the energy of staying in victim, the energy of getting stuck. It's all energy that just needs to move. It's not meant, I mean, look at nature. It flows and moves all the time. It changes. So the do's are keep doing those things. Don't go in and change your calendar. Like, the first things you should put in is the things that you like to do. I don't care what it is. Dancing for 5 minutes, singing out loud, petting your dog, going to yoga, going to a community event. Like, we have to do these things, right? We're not singular. Connect with people that are like-minded. And how do you know? You walk into a thing. How does it feel? Is this for me? Yes or no? Ooh, this feels icky. Go on to the next thing. It's not all meant for us, right? But a lot of times we say yes to the no's and no's to the yeses. So learning how to have that discernment, getting more connected with yourself. As far as the don'ts, I think the biggest thing is that we are really tough on ourselves, right? That language, like, I hear people when they really need to rest, they call themselves lazy. I did that. That's why I ignored, my depression for so long when I went through some bouts of depression. I'm like, you're so lazy, just get up and do it. No, my body needed to rest. I didn't know that. So be careful and mindful. Don't buy into those words. And it's an automatic response. You're going to have to pay attention to it. That's a do. Here's one that's interesting, okay? We all have friends and we all have groups like this. This might sound a little counterproductive, but hear me through. don't take advice from your friends that have not gone on those parts of your journey. Because here's what I know. And I love all of my friends. But there's some friends that have come on the journey that I met when we bonded together because of our trauma. And that's why we're friends, because we connected on that level. And that's great. But we have to grow too. You want to say, come on, grow with me. And it doesn't mean they can't be your friends. But connect yourself to somebody. If you really want to make change in your business, in your life, connect yourself with somebody that's a little bit down the path or that has some credentials that can help you do that, right? Your friends are your friends, and that's great. And you can still cry on their shoulders and they can still be there for you. But, you know, I'm not going to bring a person that mows my lawn to come do my plumbing. I want somebody that's an expert. And the other part of the don't is that don't think that it's a one and done. Transformation is a journey, right? And the universe is so beautiful. We don't think it is, but it will bring you things so that you can practice and understand and master. You know, it used to be I would tell these stories and I would have tears in my eyes and a knot in my throat because I hadn't quite healed it yet. And then I would get another lesson. And then I would heal some more, and then I would get another lesson. But what happens is we get so scared of what it might feel like to open that Pandora's box that we just keep it shut. But it's going to come out one way or another, either in your health, in your relationships, right? So don't ignore that stuff and lean into it. You know, I'm always so amazed, and I did the same thing. It's like, I don't want to go there. It's going to be too hard. You are living a hard life already. You've been carrying around this box of rocks.
That's so true.
For all these years. That's hard, right? That's hard. Once you get past that thing, I'm not going to say it's easy, but it gets easier. And then you can see from a standing point, from an observer point, oh, this is all for my good. Every single piece of it. Because, I mean, tell me, where did you get your biggest pivots in life?
Has to be the times when it seemed the darkest. And I'm not even kidding. It has to be those times. And now I can look back at them and say, what a great lesson. In the moment, it felt so hard.
Yeah.
And having help to get through those times, that's what made it so much easier.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Beautiful, beautiful. You know, Wendy, we're so in alignment in thought about these things that we could continue this conversation forever. But unfortunately, our show is just a half hour. And so we are right up on time. I would invite you, though, because I do know that people are going to want to reach out to you. They're going to want to continue this conversation. How can people get you?
Yeah, there's tons of ways. So my heart is super open. If you want to just literally send me an email, you can. LeadHERship revolution@gmail. You can reach me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. If you go to Instagram under LeadHERship Revolution and go to my bio, all of my links are in there, so you can go directly into that. And I know that in general, all of this we got to step into this vulnerability space. So I'd like to offer everybody on here a free guide. It's 10 benefits of jumping into that vulnerability. And you can go to LeadHERshipRevolution.com/vulnerability. And that's one way you can start getting connected with me. Yeah. And I would love to just have a conversation.
Beautiful. And I am giving away today a free consultation with you, Wendy, to one absolutely fortunate member of our viewing personnel today. Of all the people who are watching us, one happy, lucky person is going to be a winner. So I'm going to ask you to choose our winner. And if you'll choose a number between 1 and 20, we'll get started with that.
I'm going to choose 3.
And our winner is, believe it or not, Marianne Pack. So there are no accidents. This was meant to happen. And you guys connect with each other and redeem your prize. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you to everybody who joined us over on our Ladies Power Lunch Facebook group. As I said before, there is really no barrier to entry. The only rule that we have in Ladies Power Lunch is that you intentionally support each other.
Mhm.
And if that support is intentional and in alignment, then we don't need anything else. We need no other rules as far as I can see. So all are welcome. You can just search for us on Facebook, Ladies Power Lunch. Please do answer the questions and we'll be happy to let you in and welcome you into this warm, loving community. Wendy, any final words?
Just thank you for having this platform. I'm so grateful that I met you and that we connected. You are my soul sister through and through.
Through and
I'm
through.
through and through. And I will come see you when you come to Texas in August.
I'm looking forward to it. That's going to be so much fun. Looking forward to that with great anticipation. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And I'll see you guys on the next show. Bye, everybody.
Bye.